senior position at almost any base is the hard work that you put in while you're there, you really don't get the opportunity to see it come to full fruition. It's that opportunity to come back. You get an opportunity to pick up what other commanders have started and bring that to success, and then other commanders come along and take some of your ideas and bring it to success. So when you come back and visit, you see all of those in play, and we certainly witness a lot of that coming back over the years as well as since the last time we were here.
I might ask, as a new resident to Enid, the importance of Vance Air Force Base to the city and vice versa, the relationship. What's the importance of that?
I might would answer your question, Tim, a little bit differently. It's the importance of not so much Vance to the community. Probably the citizens answer that better than maybe I can. But I certainly know how important the community is to Vance. And so let me kind of try to attack it from that point of view. You know, from the very first time I arrived on this base and had the opportunity to meet citizens from downtown, and certainly the opportunity to engage with them, it became very, very clear very, very quickly that even though we like to think of this as our base, the citizen thought of it as their base. And I think that's really key, and it's very, very important. And therefore, they carry that signature all the time, no matter where they are. That Vance is there, they are there to help, to provide whatever the men and women at Vance Air Force Base might need. And it's been that way from a long, long period of time. So therefore, not only do we come here as you know, American citizens and part of our armed forces from other places around the country, but when we get here, that we are made to feel right at home every single time. And we noted that right off when Eloise and I were here. And I hear that as a theme from anybody else that has come to Vance. I've never heard anyone say, well, gee whiz, you know, I was treated badly or anything like that. And therefore, when I was here as a commander, I never worried about my, particularly my young airmen downtown. I knew the citizens of Enid would take care of them. If they happen to get on hand someplace, they will say, okay, son or daughter, you really don't want to do that. And they would take care of them in a lot of other ways as well. You know, we'd go downtown and need to write a check. You don't need to show your ID card if you say you're from Vance Field. So that's the difference. And I can assure you that does not happen at all of our bases. You can expect that here in Enid, Oklahoma, and at Vance Air Force Base.
Coming back, have you had a chance to reconnect with a lot of old friends?
Yes.
Familiar faces?
Yes, we sure have. You know, some of those are still here on the base, and I may not remember their names, but I can certainly remember their faces. And then we had the opportunity to be in town on last night at an event with the Air Force Association chapter here, and just saw a tremendous number of people that brought back great memory and experiences that we had, both when we were stationed here as well as when we would come back to visit when I was still wearing the uniform every day. So and it's just really a wonderful feeling to get back and see them. I was down in the life support shop on yesterday, and a young lady that was working there says, "Oh, you know my mom. She used to work in billeting, and she's still over in billeting." And I didn't realize that Billy was still there. And so I went, "Oh, I think I'm in trouble because I didn't get my billeting to say hi to her. You know? So please call her and tell her I'll come on and visit her as soon as I get back down from my flight," which I did. But those were great experiences, and to be able to come back, because I can remember when Billy and Bobby, her colleague at the time, were part of our billeting staff. We won a big award, and we won that award both at the command level and at the Air Force level.
Wow.
And it's those kinds of things that, again, bring great joy to a commander, and you remember those for a long period of time. So, yes, we saw a number of friends of ours from here in Enid, and we've been wanting to get back to do just that for a long period of time now.
Tell me a little bit about Miss Winnie Mae, who you got a chance to read.
Yeah, Miss Winnie Mae. Initially, when I heard that she was going to be there, I had to have someone to share with me the experience so I could go back and kind of remember. But she was there on last night. Got the opportunity to see the picture which she has, and the letter which the note which I dropped to her back at that time. And what a lot of energy she has, you know, for a person who's been around for as long as she has. She's got lots of energy. Not about to slow down anytime soon, and that's just terrific. And it makes us feel absolutely terrific about the fact that we too hopefully will live as long as Winnie is and be as active and agile as she is at that point in our lives and in our age. So, quote, I want to grow up and be just like Winnie.
What about the opportunity to speak to the newly minted airmen, the graduation?
Yeah, this is always an exciting opportunity because you know we haven't gone through that experience, and being an aviator for a long time, you can imagine in your mind the kind of opportunities they may have with our Air Force and being a part of the armed forces that provide the great freedom that we enjoy in this country, and all of the things that they may get an opportunity to do. I said with them, I'd trade places with them right now. All they have to do is make me as young as they are, and I'd start it all over again. And that's truly the way I feel. But seeing them at that point and knowing that it is they who will make a difference in our Air Force of tomorrow, because whether we like it or not, they're the leaders of tomorrow. And I also told them whether they like it or not, they will still be the leaders of tomorrow. They will either be good ones or not so good ones. And so I hope, hopefully they will be the former. But it is an exciting time in their lives, and they may not fully appreciate how much of a transition this will be for them, but they will look back on this opportunity and the hard work at which they put in to get those wings, and realize that this was truly a turning point in their lives.
Looking from your experience as a member of the 05 RAC Commission, looking at Vance Air Force Base, and with anticipation that there'll be another BRAC ground, possibly 2015, around then. Talk about how you think Vance has positioned itself with another BRAC ground in mind.
Yeah, just like Vance has always done, and that's really what I was alluding to when I made the comments earlier. I think even if the citizens in Vance did nothing else, Vance would still be in extremely good position to compete exceptionally well in another BRAC. Back to that point, we certainly recommended at the end of the BRAC, we recommended to the President, to the Congress, that we did not see a need for another BRAC for another 10, 15, maybe 20 years. And I'll say to you, from my perspective, even if we had another BRAC in, say, 2015, you know what? I don't see that as a BRAC of reduction. I see it going just the opposite direction. And that's a Fig Newton view, but I can see where, based on what we've done, because so many things have changed about the threat to the United States and the free world in general. So many things have changed that I think we will need to bring on more forces, and whether we decide to, there may be enough room to keep them on the facilities we already have. But I really don't see, if any at all, and for sure by 2015, that there'll need to be any kind of significant reduction in the way of bases and so on that we have in our military forces today. I can speak obviously more clearly about what I think about the Air Force than maybe I can about the other services, but I would venture to say, particularly when we think about our ground forces services, that they would find and would voice the same thoughts as well. I just think that we're going to need more forces, vice less forces, to ensure that no matter where that threat may come from, whether it's one that we are dealing with head-on today, or whether it's a threat from years past in the way of other, more strategic nuclear kinds of weapons, and that's the tricky part, so to speak, or the unfortunate part about being in this line of business, is that you don't know from where the enemy may come next and the kind of threat they may pose for your way of life. Just like I'm not so sure many of us really thought about that we'd be at this point engaged in a war on terror the way we are today. Certainly I didn't, even though I spent some time in special operations and so on. Just didn't quite imagine it to this level. So this could all change in the next 5, 10 years or so, and it could be a very different kind of threat, or we could be back to where we were 20 years ago, who knows?